You just had to return just to harass more people, don't you, Tanner? Well, what you see here in the thumbnail, because I actually had to restart over this iMovie Maker, I've been getting some issues on it, and I was just watching the Simpsons in the background. God almighty on this boy, honestly. If you actually can hear the background right now.
Don't tell anyone.
Downstairs to the right.
Also, lunch lady daughter came to a man I'll identify as Disco S.
Disco is quite a bit.
Stupid. Anyway, I apologize. This is supposed to be like a church episode about this young, handsome priest that supposed to take over Lovejoy's spot. The thing is, I decided to view, oh boy, Tanner Cook's recent video after he was, what, in a hospital 4 days ago? I don't know how on earth he was able to leave out of the hospital so soon. It's kind of fascinating considering that he almost got killed, or I want to say murdered, right? Because he did harass the man. It was self-defense, even though he should not use a gun inside the Dual Town Center Mall because he was around other people. Otherwise, it'd be more understandable, I suppose, you know, for him to actually shoot Tanner, I suppose. But basically, the title, if I actually can just zoom back on, or zoom back on the YouTube page. I have to be apologize. Ugh, Dan, take your time. That's all you can do. Yeah. It is titled "Asking Strangers to quote watch their tone" prank, and this prank is much worse than his other pranks that besides the mattress one, and this to actually cover up what's been going on. I watched basically all 11 minutes for y'all to actually not view it yourself. It's really disturbing. First off, he decided to go to, I think it's that same Target, because I'm guessing he's a Virginian since he is from there. I'm not sure if this is like taking place in Richmond. It looks like it, I believe. But the thing is, basically, the middle-aged man, or I think he's like an elderly man, I have to see him as middle age, that was in the entrance. He basically told Tanner to not film inside the store, which is understandable because, well, you know, like the store policies, you know, you can, like, film inside the store. I mean, as long as you're not, like, filming the workers, as long as they're okay with it, I suppose. I don't know about, you know, how laws work in his state, but basically he just gave him a nasty look, and with his, I'm guessing, friend that's filming everything because he's silent, right, or mute, so to speak, pun intended, and basically they got kicked out, which I won't be surprised if they got let's not say trespass, because trespass is when you cannot go for a year. Well, depending on the rule they decided to actually set up, right? I'm not surprised he's going to be banned for life for harassing one of the workers. And it's gotten worse from here because basically around like the 124-minute mark, he decided to take a picture of this Verizon employee. I don't understand why. I don't care if it's basically the sound effect that you use. It's still harassment, not to mention, well, yeah, you're at a store, but why would you take a photo of someone if, you know, that's considered a prank? I don't understand it. I mean, hell, even in public, that's still kind of odd. Like, there is a difference between, like, filming someone and taking pictures, I suppose. I gotta look that up, because I know there is, like, a slight difference. But the thing is, basically, he kept harassing the Verizon employee that was working there. And he basically told Tanner to delete it, which I won't be surprised if he hasn't. And basically, the Verizon employee wanted to call the police on him. I don't blame him, because basically, Tanner is harassing him at this point, right? And the Verizon employee, well, he's just doing his job. And I don't understand why someone would actually go this far, just for viewership. I don't understand it. You know what? I don't know how he's still alive. That's one thing. Actually, this is the question I want to ask y'all, especially for anyone that is from Virginia that may be viewing this. Thank y'all. I say y'all, not y'all, right? It's kind of like a British Southern term. I don't understand why he's not in jail yet. Because one, the clown prank, right? Oh, that's right. I forgot to mention. For one of the screenshots, my apologies. So I did took one. I'll get back to that in a minute. That you see here because I overlapped over the image. That is basically my comment on this video that I'm mentioning, right, from Tanner. And just to read it out loud, I really apologize because I wasn't paying attention to the screen. You know, it really disappoints me how a ton of you human beings subscribe to this harasser, not a prankster, that's for sure. So we call him having 40K subscribers or so 3 days ago, I believe, and yet encourages this type of behavior to keep interrupting someone else's day. Don't get how Tanner is out of the hospital so soon since he almost got killed, and wouldn't be surprised if any of the middle-aged men decided to tag him back as the fans off camera, as they could already tell that the title's more of harassment than a prank, that's for sure. And I'm just here to view what other type of disgusting prank he would do, and quite amazed he isn't in jail after the the clown quote prank by sacrificing the young officer's time inside the grocery store, even though he was in handcuffs along with his weirder friend. P.S. Edit. I can already tell this video isn't going to turn out well after him bothering the target worker at 1:02, basically the time frame, right, of the video, of course, when he said, you know what, as he will eventually be banned from entering any large stores for that matter. At least there are a handful of viewers on here that at least has some mature common sense that what Tanner is doing is really uncalled for. I understand this. Like, one thing that YouTube should do, in my opinion, is to, I guess you could say terminate his channel or suspend his channel because, one, it is basically, my opinion, against the community guidelines because he's just harassing people when that's not okay. And two, he was well, I'm sure in other videos he probably made some sexual remarks, but in this video though, he asked like 2 different women. One that is at, I'm thinking, it's not a Macy's, it's some shopping store, asking for her number after saying something odd. And then another one at a grocery store that actually happened in his state for, I don't know what the heck he was talking about. It's just, it's difficult to view. It really is. I don't understand why pranksters like him keep doing this. He just got out of the hospital. I mean, he could at least thinking that, oh, you know what I've done was really uncalled for. I got lucky that I'm still alive because if I haven't, my father would be devastated for life. You know, I mean, I'm guessing Tanner's father doesn't know exactly what's going on, even though he somewhat does. But Tanner's father needs to understand that what Tanner's doing it's basically just him interrupting other people and just straight up harassing them, right? I guess you could say verbal harassment because what's your tone? Basically, that does sound like more of like a threat when the citizens in that city, it looks like Richmond, I can tell because there's quite a few buildings. Basically, they were just trying to be helpful, giving him directions, and he decided, oh, watch your tone. You know, you're making me uncomfortable or something. I don't understand this. I really don't. And the reason why a handful of the people were really uncomfortable, especially the women he actually talked to, is because his friend has this expensive camera, right? It looked like a professional model camera, I'm sure. It will make people uncomfortable versus like a cell phone camera. I think that's why, I think in certain stores, they don't let you use that for some other reason. I don't know why. It's kind of fascinating because I remember some other prank channel that I viewed before that you cannot bring like model, like those heavy cameras, right? That has like the, I think because it has the zoom in lens versus a cell phone, aka smartphone. You know, it's, I don't know, it's really fascinating to basically read about, or hear about, excuse me. But I just wanted to share up that he's really going too far, and it just, you know, I don't understand it. It makes me really concerned that in this generation, it's all about harassing people for views now. If I want to make videos that I like to do, just like going off from our walks, or if I wanted to like basically capture on camera in public when there are people that are walking past by me and saying hi to them and even like having them on camera because you're in public space, right? It's different if they're like inside, or excuse me, if you're inside their household, right? You know, people are not interested in that. They like to see drama. I forgot what YouTuber it was that I watched that did the Mog Heart Iceberg. He was really sweet, and he basically did like a video of how ridiculous YouTube is getting now. Because one, it attracts people, right? Or retention. Two, it basically is encouraging younger viewers, or not even teens, I'm sure, to actually do this type of behavior. And three, basically drama itself that gives you ad revenue. Not to mention, what kind of really concerns me is that he basically gets dough, right? Green dough out of harassing people. I don't understand it. Like, for me personally, I even get like a little bit, like, I guess you could say nervous, or I don't know what's the word. I feel like a little bit self-cautious if I would film in public. I don't want to make anyone uncomfortable. Like, yes, I'm out in public. You know what? It doesn't matter. If they don't want to be on camera, they could just walk away. It's that simple, right? But, like, if you're, like, inside somewhere private, that's different. Like, for me, I just can't imagine. That's why I don't like to make anyone uncomfortable. You know, besides the neighbor incident I mentioned, because she was out in the driveway or whatever, and I was just saying hi. She was a little bit rude. That's why I'm not talking to her anymore, you know, for that one incident. Because, you know what? I got my kindness taken for granted, and I couldn't take it anymore. You know, and she kind of blamed it on me. Like, I want to be on camera. You don't have to yell about it. You can at least kindly tell me. Like, I don't want to be on camera. I'm sorry, I'm not comfortable. That's fine. You know, it's that simple. But, man, like, you have to yell. Especially if you're out on the street. Like, that's different. You know, I don't understand it. But, yeah, basically, just to point this out, for Tanner in this video, he even, I think he was like inside a library or somewhere. Basically, this is not okay, right? I gotta look that up. I think in Virginia it's a one-party state, even though if it is, basically he doesn't have a right to actually film someone else's like conversation inside a meeting, because that could be like a business meeting, right? Like, that's private stuff they're talking about, you know, especially since they're inside that little room. You know, that's private, right? Unless he's involved. Then, you know, I don't understand it. I just don't. So, I just wanted to share this. And by the way, my name is Dion. Once more, for anyone that is new to my channel, I hope that if you have seen my videos before, that you enjoyed viewing them. If not, do not return, because I just want to make sure that my videos are at least a little bit educational for y'all taste and whatnot. And, you know, I just wanted to spread awareness that people like this on YouTube, or hell, as humans in basically urban society, shouldn't be acting like this, right? It just doesn't make any damn sense to me. It does not. Also, I did finish up my Totino's pizza. I'm thinking my brother a lot. At least I won't be hungry. But I gotta wait until later on tonight to watch like one piece of My Hero Academia, to eat my noodles and then eat. So yeah, that's all I'm eating today. I ate 2 Totino's pizzas, 2 oat milk cookie. No, excuse me, 1 Totino's pizza. It's a full pizza that I baked in the oven, along with Parmesan cheese and salt and whatnot. So I got no veggies, and 2 oat milk cookies to snack on, just to hold me. So yeah, that's all I ate today. But I do apologize for rambling, but I just had to share this because I don't understand it. Like, he got lucky. You know, he must have a 4-leaf clover in his heart that he didn't die. You know, basically got murdered. Well, it's not murder, though, because it's self-defense in a way. But, you know, he didn't get killed. He didn't. You know, like, I understand. It's like, how does he educate himself that, yes, I'm not going to do this again. I'm not going to do this again because my father has seen what has happened, or me being in a hospital bed. It's basically, just to share this from my perspective, it's like how I went to the hospital twice because of heat stroke. I know, one, I should not travel like 10 miles to actually meet a boy just to be friends with and that I liked. And 2, make sure that I would bring, basically, what is it, false assault bottled water because it gets so hot here where we're from, right? In Arizona, that temps will go up as high as like 110 on average. And the ice will just melt really fast. Not to mention bring an umbrella if I need shade, and basically at least being underneath a tree, even if it's someone's fun of someone's house, you know, nearby, so that, you know, like when you're out on the sidewalk, so that I won't basically die from the heat. You know, I love how hot it gets out here. In the cold, oh, I'm screwed. But in the hot weather doesn't bother me. Not much. I mean, it depends on the temp. But yeah, basically, that is like my metaphor. Like, for him, he doesn't understand this, that you keep harassing these people that are doing their jobs, right? That I'm sure are trying to get by. I'm sure of it. And yet again, you get revenue out of just harassing people. This is what I don't like about YouTubers. I don't. And I'm sure I'll probably get cyberbullied. Let it be. I mean, you know what? I mean, I can't stop it. I don't want to stop it. But I just want to spread awareness on this, that this is getting out of hand. You know? And if you saw the thumbnail earlier, there are other pranksters like Kendrick Curry. I'll definitely be watching his He Loves Some BBC. What's supposed to be... He trolls on this, right? Big black something. I'm going to say it. Okay? Big black cock, right? I don't get... I guess it's so immature and disturbing. Scene Banks, that's another prankster. DZ Dale, that's another one that I mentioned. And then there's another one I got a view named Ebo Brazzy. And Black Backard, oh boy, I do not like him as it is. You know, I keep track of these prank channels because this gets out of hand. It really does. I don't understand why they do this. You know, I just hope that I'm friends, because I try not to focus on other channels, you know, because I get jealous that, yes, that they're doing great if they do, like, certain topics, and people like hearing their voices. Well, for me, well, people just find me irritating, and I don't want to compare my journey towards theirs, because, wow, why can they get more views, or why they get so many views and such supporting comments while I feel I don't exist? I feel that way all the time. So I just wanted to just get this out of my system. You know, even though I have great equipment, you know what? That's why I don't bother watching some creators, because they do get me jealous. They do. And it's just for my mental health, right? I just watch creators that I feel comfortable with. But yeah, I just wanted to you know, just basically make an update, because it's been a day now, or 22 hours, when I viewed this video earlier of him pranking these random people. It looked like it's Richmond. It looked like it because there's a lot of buildings, and it's basically, you know, it looks really nice. But I just don't understand why he's keep doing this. Not to mention, another thing I want to mention, when he was kind of croaked, okay, with my fingers pointing up and down, okay, or straight and down, basically there's this jogger in a blue shirt that was basically jogging by, and of course he did give a little smirk on the camera, because he knows that Tanner and his friend are just up to no good. You know, I just don't understand this. Next thing you know, he'd probably be in jail for like 3 years if he basically would steal, who knows, like $100 worth of video games from Walmart or something. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. It's just, this is just too far. It really is. But I just wanted to just get this out of my system. I just hope that you actually do have a great afternoon. And please do not prank on someone unless you know them well, or if it's something harmless. You know, and don't use like a professional camera in that case, because yeah, it's going to make, I'm sure, certain people uncomfortable, especially depending on where you shop, I suppose. You know, just want to get some tips on that. I don't recommend just doing pranks at all unless you know someone and maybe it's at home, or I don't know. Okay, I don't do pranks, and I can't imagine even doing pranks. Like, the only prank I can think of is like tapping on someone's back, but that's when I say hi. You know, like being like a little bit quiet, sneaking up on them, like this, like tapping, right? Not like punching them or something like that. You know, that'd be dumb. Plus, well, that'd be good. What is it? Aggravated assault, I suppose? Or, I don't know much about this law stuff. I don't. It's, okay, it's not aggravated. It'd be this, like, assault and battery, I think. But yeah, I just wanted to just get this out of my system because he needs to be exposed. And one thing before I do cut this off. Let's type about that. So I'm still watching The Simpsons. He had 40,000 subscribers. What, like a few days ago? And then now he has 47,000 and a half? I don't understand how he has people subscribing to him. I don't understand it. Ugh. I just want to say, from all those people that subscribed, I recommend unsubscribing. And also, I forgot to dislike the video that you saw in the thumbnail. That was my mistake. I forgot to share that. You know, let me... There we go. I already disliked it. It doesn't have the little, like, effect. When you dislike, it just turns white. Because you know what? I might as well just turn white of muteness. This is just... I just want to say, Tanner... You know what? Don't be surprised if you're going to get banned from basically every store out there over Virginia. Or hell, well, I don't think throughout the country, though. But at least throughout your state, based on the way you're acting, people in your state are gonna hope to Buddha's belly. They'll find out about what you're doing, and you know, you should count your darn lucky charms that you're still alive and breathing after you gotten shot. Also, you know what Ellen did was a bit uncalled for, but it was self-defense, so I think he should have gotten like a minor jail sentence, I think. Because, yeah, what he did to Tanner was, well, I don't know about the context, but you know what? If Tanner was really harassing him, which I'm sure he was, then he shouldn't get like a heavy sentence, you know, especially if it's self-defense. Even though the mall was unnecessary, but I don't know. Okay, I just know that Tanner, he is a harasser, as I mentioned in my comment, not a prankster.